situation, not vaccine related, but fighting back against, or potentially now, they haven't really fought yet legally, but we have a black head coach, Brian Flores, with a fascinating story. He's coming out, class action lawsuit against the NFL and 3 NFL teams. Because basically he's trying to prove what a lot of people have alleged in the prior stories, prior situations in the league. For example, if I'm playing and my team sucks already, right? But let's say it's not that bad. We're not the worst team, but there's almost like a race to be the worst team. Why would there be a race to be the worst team? Because if you're the worst team, you can get a higher draft pick. What's a draft pick? For those who don't know sports, it's the new players that come in next year, and it's like a fucking...
You get the better players.
Yeah, it's like a lottery, like a bingo or some shit. Like it's almost like a game. We're playing games, to be honest. It's like a game with human lives. But it's too deep, right? Oh, it's too deep. Sorry. But it is what it is, and it's like you're picking the best player. You get first dibs next year, right? So Brian Flores is saying they did this with me. My coach wanted me to lose games on purpose, and he would also offer incentives, basically bribing, do that, and you'll be able to get 100K. If you don't do that, I'm not paying you 100K extra, but I'll give you 100K extra per game if you lose these games. And he also was like, aside from that, the Rooney Rule is an issue, and he proved how it's an issue with the legal example he's providing as of now, right? If all is proven right, it could be proven right. But let's say alleged for now. He's saying the Rooney Rule, by definition, is this. If I'm in the NFL, I have a team, and I'm looking for a new head coach since 2002, I want to say, or 2003, for over 2 decades, basically, or about 2 decades now, you have to interview 2 to 3 black head coaches, I think is the average number, somewhere around there. But you have to interview them legally. If you don't, I'm not sure what happens. I don't know what, I forgot the repercussions are. Something happens, though. And definitely something happens, because if they're sketchy enough, like trying to sneak in like these interviews, is because something bad probably does happen, a fine or something happens, right? But aside from that, it's like you don't have to hire them. You just have to coach. You just have to interview them to maybe be a coach. So he proved this because he literally got a text when he was on his way to one of these interviews. He got a text mistakenly from Bill Belichick, who's the head coach of the Patriots, which he used to work for back in the day. And he was thanking him. Oh, Brian, congratulations on... Not thanking him, congratulating him. Congratulations on this position, or just thank you. Not thank you. He was just saying congratulations. I don't think he didn't specify it. But it was like, he knew, it was like, whoa. Oh, did you hear something I didn't? And then Bill was like, yeah, they're considering you something. Congratulations. And he was like, oh, I guess I'm happy. But then he was like, wait a minute. Are you sure you're texting the right Brian? Are you not talking about Brian so-and-so? And then Bill corrected himself. Damn, you are right. It was the other Brian. So then this Brian Flores is like, then why am I going to this interview still if they already have a pick?
Someone for the position.
Like, this is the guy?
Yeah.
Why? Oh, it's because I'm black. The Rooney Rule. This is what it is. So now everyone in the NFL, to be honest, the majority are on his side, like the players and stuff. It's just such a touchy subject for them because they don't want to. There's 30 out of 32 billionaire white owners that own the team. They don't want to get potentially fired. He got laid off, Brian, but it was like prior to all this stuff, but he got laid off, right, as a coach. But they don't want to lose their jobs. They're like, yo, I might agree with it, but should I talk out about it? I don't know. Should I speak my mind? So that's what's happening right now in the NFL. I agree with him. I think that he definitely, hopefully, he can go down in history for like breaking the system if he does this, right? But at the same time, the odds are not in his favor because these are rich white billionaire owners that have 1,000 fucking lawyers. Yeah. You think that Kim might have a case as a lawyer against Kanye? Shit, you're talking about 30 examples of that. So imagine that against one guy. Even though he specifically specified 3 teams, right, in this lawsuit. But even that, 3 billionaire lawyers is a lot to go up against, right? But let's hope and pray that Brian gets his just due. But isn't that just crazy in general? Putting the legal shit aside, the concept of like, my life can just be played with. Like, we're just playing with and it's because of my skin color.
And it's crazy that the NFL has to put in that rule for coaches to interview black coaches.
Yeah.
Right, like in 2022, we're still like having to force white people to interview black people for jobs.
Fucking
That's
crazy.
insane.
And I knew that was a rule, but
and
I thought it was like a newer rule. This is an old rule. 2 decades.
In
I
a,
was like,
in a
Oh,
sport
that makes
that's,
sense then.
I'm sorry to
It was
say,
even
like the
worse back then.
stereotypical
Yeah.
shit, but like in a
Predominantly
sport
black.
that's,
No.
yeah, exactly, crazy.
Yeah, it's
wait, say that again?
crazy.
What'd you say?
Saying like in a sport that's predominantly black. Like,
Oh no,
you know,
yes,
it's-
100%, 100%.
Fucking
Bro,
crazy.
it's that concept I said earlier, or not earlier, yesterday in the episode that got deleted, but
it's still kind of like
black
slave work.
culture
Mhm.
is the fucking lifeline to all the other cultures. Like you got the sports culture, it's black culture. You know, there's other sports that might not, you know, for an example, but even I think even soccer to some extent, because isn't like the most legendary guy Pele, or no? Who's the most legendary soccer like all time? I don't know so much about soccer.
Pele's one of them.
Pele, right?
Yeah, Pele's one of them.
Pele and but in general, because I don't want to talk too literal because there's gonna be people commenting soccer. But how about soccer and hockey though? They don't have black men. They're doing fine. Calm down, Andrew. You want your belugas, right? You're not gonna get them, motherfucker. But when it comes to NFL, it's like, come on, bro. All the players, like, especially the top of the line. Even when it comes to quarterbacks, like recently, there's been a lot of more black quarterbacks, thankfully, right? But there was a time where it's like it's a drought.
Barely any.
They don't exist.
Maybe
It's like
one
you said
team
yesterday too. Like they're okay with it as long as they're just catching balls and running around.
Yeah,
For entertainment purposes. But when
We
it
can
comes to
entertain
leading
you.
the team or coaching a team,
yeah. We can dance with you. We can play with balls. All this weird shit. Oh, but when we want to decide what's happening, you guys have a problem.
Right.
It's like, why aren't you letting us in? You know, and it's like, yo, and even though I don't think necessarily it's like we got to force to like have black owners, but there has to be more conscious, at least younger owners. For example, Gary V, you guys know Gary V, right?
Yeah.
Gary V wants to buy the New York Jets.
The Jets,
New York
yeah.
Jets. That's one of his dreams, you know, and Gary V is very open-minded. So if you get owners like that, younger, like youthful, appealing, you let them into the actual ownership of these teams, you're going to start seeing some changes. But until then, you're more than likely not. But this is a conversation that's happening, and it needs to be highlighted. And let's not ignore it. It's actually an issue, and it sucks, man. I would hate to be in his position. And he's actually a good coach. Bro, the Miami Dolphins, they had a horrible year, and he brought them back from that horrible year 2 years in a row to have like a good, like better years. I think during the first one of the last two, so like 2 years ago, I want to say he even took them to the playoffs, something like that. But in general, to sum it up, he's a good coach. And people know him that he's a good coach. They like him. Yeah. So it's like, bro, what the fuck? And there was another rumor that he's alleging that they try to force him to meet with like a new quarterback. And like they wanted him to like, you got to meet with him because we want to like spice it up to like get him. And is saying that the quarterback was Tom Brady. So Tom Brady could have been a Miami Dolphin. But then Brian was like, no, like we don't got to. Like I don't want to be forced to do these sort of like these fucking like pony show bullshit, because this has happened before, like in sports, like college sports, like they pay college athletes before. Now it's legal, I think, but I think is companies and sponsorships can pay them now. Before they couldn't supposedly get paid, right? But before they were still getting paid, but under the table, like they would pay them like
to recruit them and stuff.
To recruit them, like, yo, here's $100K, come to our school, and people would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Those athletes are coming in Porsches and shit.
Because these kids be so rich. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And also at the same time, if I'm from the hood and I don't have nothing,
I'm gonna take that money.
I'll take $10K.
I'm gonna take that money.
Because I need my mom out the house.
Scholarship?
I need to get her, I gotta get her out the apartment into a house. Like I gotta get my mom a house. Like that's the, you know, so that's the predicament that these people are in. But, you know, these rich white billionaires, they know that, but they don't feel it. Instead, they use it against you. Like, let me throw some money. Same with Brian Flores. It's $100K. Flop for us on purpose. That way we get the draft pick. You know, it's all manipulative bullshit.
For my ambition.